Hi everybody, welcome back once again to this channel. Thank you very much for joining us once again. We are still continuing with revising the 2024 trial exam papers, and today we're going to look at the Northwest Province paper on analytical geometry. That was your question 4. Quite very interesting. It's 4.6. We're just going to explore this whole question and see how it goes. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you've subscribed. Just turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified every time when we upload a new session. Without wasting any time, let's get into it. Okay, question 4. They said in the diagram below, the circle with the center P has the equation x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 8y equals to 80. QS is a tangent that touches the circle at Q and intersect the x-axis at S, and it's drawn there, right? We are given the point R, which is 10, and T lies on the circle. So 4.1, they want us to determine, right? 4.1. They want us to determine the equation of the circle in the form of x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equals to r squared. Okay, the one that we are given is x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 8y is equals to 80, right? Obviously, to rewrite it in that form, you have to complete the square, right? So you go to the coefficient of x, which is minus 4, multiply with 1 over 2, you square it, right? Then coefficient of y, which is minus 8, you do the same, minus 8 times 1 over 2, you square, right? Then we can just get the answer there. That will be minus 2 squared, and this will be minus 4 squared. Okay, so what we're going to do is say x squared minus 4x. Then we're going to add that one of the coefficient of x, which is plus minus 2 squared. Okay, then we have y squared minus 8y. And we're going to add that one of coefficient of minus 8, which is multiplied by 1 over 2 squared, which is minus 4 squared. This will be equals to 80. So whatever we do on the left, we must also do it on the right. So I'm going to add minus 2 squared plus minus 4 squared also on the right, so that our equation remains mathematically correct. Okay, so now you can see here, you can factorize. It's very simple. Just say x minus 2 all squared, x minus 2 all squared, plus when we come to the one for y, we just say y minus 4 all squared. Then we can punch the calculator for this one. It's 80 plus minus 2 squared plus minus 4 squared. Then we can just use a calculator for that. So on the calculator, we are getting 100. So we can rewrite it in that format. You can see it clearly in that format. X squared minus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equals to what? 10 squared. Okay, so we have rewritten it in the format that they wanted. Let's quickly go to 4.2 now. Okay, 4.2, 4.2.1, they're saying determine, write down the coordinate of P, right? Obviously, we were told that P is the center of the circle. So the coordinate of P, we have our equation in that format. We can easily get the answer. It will be 2 and 4, right? Remember, you change the sign. If it's minus, you put it as positive, and this one you put it as a negative. It's because at the center the coordinate is just a and b if this is the format of the equation. Okay, so it's just 2 and 4. 4.2.2, they want us to write the equation of QR, right? So if you check QR, perhaps let me show you this. QR is just a what? It's just a horizontal line. Can you see? So obviously that equation is just x equals to something, and in this case x here is 10, x is q is 10, so that equation will just be x equals to 10. Okay, so that will be our QR, x equals to 10. Let's quickly go to 4.3 now. Okay, 4.3, they want us to determine the equation of the tangent QS. Okay, so what we know is that P is the center of the circle and PQ is a radius. And we know that a radius is always perpendicular what? Tangent. So we know that the equation of a tangent is y is equals to mx plus c, right? It's a straight line. So we need the gradient. So what we can do, we can get the gradient of this one that is perpendicular to that tangent, and we know that the gradient of the radius times the gradient of the tangent will be equals to -1, right? I'm saying gradient of the radius times gradient of the tangent will be equals to -1 because the two are what? Are perpendicular. Okay, radius perpendicular tan. Okay, coming from that idea. So if I get the gradient of the radius, I can simply get the gradient of the tangent, okay, using this equation. So gradient of the radius, it's y at q minus y at p divided by x at q minus x at p, right? Multiplied by gradient of tangent equals to -1. What is y at q? It's 10 minus what is y at p? It's 4, all right? So this is 10 minus 4 divided by x at q, it's 10, x at p, it's 2. Okay, so this is multiplied with gradient of tangent equals to -1. So 10 minus 4 will be 6, right? It will be 6 divided by 8. Okay, multiplied by gradient of tangent is equals to -1. So to solve for the gradient of tangent, we can multiply by 8 over 6, reciprocal of that, 8 over 6, right? So -1 times 8 over 6, it can be simplified to be equals to gradient of tangent will be equals to -4 over 3. Okay, so we have now found the gradient of the tangent using the idea that radius is perpendicular tangent. So we got the gradient of radius. If we multiply it with the tangent, gradient of tangent, it will be -1 because the two are perpendicular. Okay, so now in our equation, maybe let me use a black color, y is equals to -4 over 3x plus c. We are only left to get c. Okay, so we have a point on the tangent q. We can substitute point q, which is 10 and 10. So where there is y, you put 10. Where there is x, you're gonna also put 10, and you can solve for c, right? So it will be -4 over 3 times 10, which will give us -40 over 3. We take it to the other side. C will be 10 plus 40 over 3. Okay, so 10 plus 40 over 3, our C will be 70 over 3. Okay, so finally our equation of the tangent will be equals to -4 over 3 plus 70 over 3. Okay, -4 over 3x plus 70 over 3. That will be our equation of the tangent. Let's quickly go to 4.4 now. Okay, 4.4, it wants us to find the size of angle RQS. RQS. So this is the angle RQS. Okay, how can we find that angle? Okay, so you realize that this is a straight line and it's perpendicular to the x-intercept, so we know that there's 90 degrees, right? Then we can also find this angle because we know the gradient of this line, which is -4 over 3. We just got the equation, which is -4 over 3x plus 70, so the gradient is -4 over 3. So to get the angle between a line and the x-intercept, we can use the idea that tan theta is equals to that gradient. Our theta will be that angle S there. Okay, that angle S there. Okay, so we can just let it to be theta there. So firstly, perhaps we can show that line QR is actually perpendicular to the x-intercept. Sorry about this. Let me see. Yeah, it's actually perpendicular to the x-intercept because that's a straight line. We got its equation. It was x equals to 10, right? It's a straight line. It's a horizontal line. It's perpendicular. So that implies that we have an angle of 90 degrees. So to solve for theta or tan S there is equals to m. So our S will be arctan of m. Okay, m is the gradient. Arctan of -4 over 3, then to solve that angle S there. So arctan of -4 over 3 will give us -53, right? -53.13. So we know that if we get a negative angle, we can add 180 so that we get the positive angle there, right? So we say plus 180, then you can get that angle which is gonna give us about, if I add 180, I'm getting like 126. Okay, 126.87 degrees. Okay, so that will be my angle S there. Okay, then okay, let's just clarify something. Because we got negative 53.13, right? We had to add what? 180 to get a positive angle. So this 126 will be the one this side, 126.87. It's not S that side, it's this one, this side. Because remember, angle in a triangle must still add to 180. So this angle is actually less than 90. So obviously it can be more than 126, so it makes more sense 126 to be this, and that one will just be positive 53.13. Okay, so this one positive 53.13, we can use the idea of angle, some angle of a straight line, to say the one we are looking for, R angle QS plus 90 degrees plus this 53.13 is equals to what? 180 degrees. Okay, because of some angles of a triangle. Okay, some angles of a triangle, they add to 180. Then 180 minus 90 minus 53.13, we can get angle R QS. R angle QS will be equals to 36.87 degrees. Okay, I hope you find that helpful. Let's quickly go to 4.5 now. Okay, 4.5, it says calculate the area of triangle PQR. Maybe let me highlight this. PQR is this triangle here. Okay, we want the area of that triangle. Obviously, this is not a right angle triangle. We can use the area rule, right? So we must have two sides and an included angle. So if you check what we are given from the standard form of the equation of the circle, we know that the radius is equals to 10. Can you see? From 10 squared. So we know that PQ it's 10 units and PR it's 10 units. Okay, and then what we can do is, if we find this angle, we can easily get the area, right? Or sometimes if it will be difficult to find that angle, we can actually go for the other angle, right? And use the two sides. So we know that this is 90 degrees, right? Because the radius is perpendicular tangent. So angle PQR, you know, it's gonna be 90 degrees minus 36.87. So I'm removing that portion we just calculated in the previous question, so that we know what that other portion inside is equals to. Okay, so I'm saying 90 minus 36.87, which will give me 53.13. Okay, it's gonna give me 53.13. Quite very interesting, because also this one was equals to 53.13. Okay, so we have 53.13. So I have this side, I have an angle there, so I can get this length, so that I can get the area using area rule. Okay, so for that one, this length here, we need to know what T is equals to, so that we know the distance of RQ, right? Of RQ. Okay, so that we know that distance. Obviously, we need to know what T is equals to, and T is the Y value in the circle, right? When x equals to 10. So I can just go to the circle to say substitute R, which is 10, and T, because it's lie in the circle. Where there is x, I'm gonna put 10 minus 2 squared plus, I'm looking for y, which is t minus 4 squared is equals to 10 squared. Okay, so 10 minus 2 squared, it's 8 squared, which is gonna be 64. Then I take it to the other side. 10 squared is 100 minus 64, which will be 36. Then I have t minus 4 squared is equals to 36. Then I root both sides. I have t minus 4 is equals to plus or minus, so root of 36 is 6 plus or minus 6, right? So t minus 4 will be equals to 6. The other t minus 4 will be equals to what? Negative 6. Then t here will be equals to 10, right? And this t this side will be minus 6 plus 4, and it's gonna be equals to minus 2. Okay, so obviously we have to choose either t is positive or negative. T is the y value. In this case, it's on the negative side. We'll choose the negative one, which is minus 2. Okay, let me just delete some of the things here for space. So we now have r, which is 10 minus 2. So the distance rq, because it's a horizontal line that is perpendicular to the x-axis, sorry about the noise. Okay, because it's a horizontal line that is perpendicular to the x-axis, so the distance there is like the distance of y. You understand? From what? From minus 2 up until we reach 10. What's that horizontal distance? That will be my RQ. Okay, so this one is 2 units plus 10, so the whole distance will be 12. So RQ, we can deduce that it is what? It's 12 units. Okay, or you can use distance formula if you want, but that will take time really. Okay, so now that we got RQ, which is 12, and we have PQ, which is 10, we can use the idea of area rule, because we need the area of triangle PQR. We can use the idea to say 1/2 times PQ times RQ, sine of the included angle there is P angle QR, okay, which is 53,13. Then the rest is just substitution, right? Let me just delete this. I'm just gonna write it on top here. So it will be 1/2 is equals to 1/2 times PQ is 10 because it's the radius, times RQ, which is 12, the sine of 53,13. Okay, so you can just punch that on your calculator and get the answer. So the answer will be 47.9999, like that, which is approximately 48 units squared. Okay, so that will be our area of what? Of triangle PQR. Okay, let's go to 4.6. Quite very interesting and challenging question, really. Okay, 4.6, quite very interesting, bit really challenging. It says a function h is formed by restricting the range of a circle to y is greater or equals to 4. You understand? So we are forming a new function by simply restricting the range of this circle to y greater or equals to 4. Okay, so it means what we are doing, because the center of this circle here, it's 2 and 4. Okay, so that's the center of the circle, 2 and 4. And what we are doing is we are restricting the range of this circle, right? So we are sort of cutting it here, greater, because there it's 4, right? It's 2 and 4 at the center there. So we are sort of cutting it there and restricting it to be above there. So h of x is the new function, this one that is on top here. We are sort of like cutting the circle into half, right, to form a new function, which we are saying this is our h of x. Okay, so that is what is happening, that a function h is formed by restricting the range of a circle to y greater or equals to 4. So we are cutting that y greater or equals to 4, and on top we are forming a new function. Okay, so they are saying if the sum from x starting from minus 8 till 2 of h of x is equals to k, determine the value of the sum from 3 to 12 h of x in terms of k. Okay, so we need to understand really to say, if I'm restricting this function from y greater or equals to 4 going up, which is then that new function in red, what is the x value there, what is the x value here, so that you understand what's happening with this sum and how you can express the other sum in terms of k. Okay, so if I go to the equation where there is y, I substitute 4, right? I'll have x minus 2 squared plus 4 minus 4 squared is equals to 10 squared, right? So basically, when you solve for x, you're going to, because it will take time for me to solve for x here, so I'm just gonna give you the value of x that you'll get after you substitute y equals to 4 there. Okay, so that you can know the domain of this function is restricted from this x to this x. So x is gonna be equals to 12, or x is gonna actually be equals to negative 8. So we can deduce that this side is negative 8, this side is what? Is 12. Can you see? Then if you can simply visualize it like that, it can be quite easier to solve this question now. Okay, let's go and explore how we can solve it. Okay, I think to solve it now, you are given that the sum from minus 8 to 2 of h of x is equals to k, right? So if you check from minus 8 to, because here it's at 4, it's y, but here is the center of the circle, which x equals to 2 here. Okay, so from minus 8 to 2, the sum is equals to of h of x is equals to k, right? So let me represent this so that you can clearly see. So the sum of all, okay, so what we know here is that the sum of x starting from minus 8 up until 2 of h of x, right? That is the sum of the y values of this new function in red that I highlighted in red is equals to k from minus 8 up until 2, right? So you recognize that from x equals to minus 8, I've just put minus 8 for you there, till x equals to 2, right? The y values, when we take all the y values there from minus 8 up until 2, that sum will be equals to k, right? But you recognize that this is like a half, right? This is like a half of that semicircle of our new h of x. Can you see? So we can also deduce that this will be the same as the sum from 2 up until we reach x equals to 12. Can you see? Because this is the other second half. Can you see? This is the other second half. So what we can deduce is the sum of x starting from minus 8 to 2 of h of x, which is equals to k, will be the same as what? As the sum from 2, because that is like a half of that semicircle. It's the same as from 2 starting there at the center 2 till we reach x equals to 12. X starting from 2 till we reach 12 of h of x. Can you see? So they are the same because it's like that other one from minus 8 to 2 is that half of that semicircle, and from 2 to 12 it's that other half. So the sum of that side of the y values there will be the same as the sum of the other y values there, because the two are just halves, are just half of each other. Okay, so that's the idea first. All right, and this will help us really now to solve the question to get what is actually the sum from x equals to 3 till we reach 12. So this was a bit of a tricky question, guys, so you must listen very attentively. So what we need is, what is the sum from x equals to 3 up until we reach 12 of h of x in terms of k? Okay, so now they're starting, maybe because this is at point P there, it's 2, right? Maybe let me put this 2. It's 2, I've represented 2. But what if we are starting at x equals to 3 up until we reach 12? What will be the sum of the y values? So it's just a portion of that other half. Can you see? So we can argue that the sum from x equals to 3 up until 2, we can take the total portion, the other half, the right, from 2 to 12, the sum from x equals to 2 up until we reach 12 of h of x. That is, I'm taking the other half in red and I remove, right? If I remove the sum of when x equals to 2, right, from 2 to 3 basically. Okay, so if I remove the sum of when x is starting from 2 up until we reach 3 of h of x, then I can basically find that other one. Okay, so the idea is that from x equals to 3 to 12, it's like I'm starting at 3 to 12, right? I'm taking the sum of from 2 to 12, I remove the sum of from 2 to 3, right? That is it. And basically the idea here, we know that from 2 to 12 we already express it in terms of k, right? Because it's the other half is equals to k, right? Minus from 2 to 3, right? So from 2 to 3 is just that portion which is just 1 unit, you know. So basically this will be the same as h of, if we remove the sum from 2 minus h of 3. Okay, so that we can remove that portion. But because we are starting, this one is starting at 3, right? We need to know the one starting at 3, so we can remove this part. So this will just be minus h of 2, because remember the other one is starting at 3, from 3 to 12, right? So I'm removing the one of h of 2 so that I know what is that one from 3 to 12. Okay, so that's the idea there. So I remove h of 2, but we know that h of 2 there at that point P, it was 2 and 4. So h of 2, it will be what? It will be h of 2 will be, what is the y value when x equals to 2, which is 4 there, right? So it will be 4. So finally, from x equals to 3 to 12, h of x will just be what? Will just be k minus 4. I hope you find this helpful, guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This was a bit of a tricky question, 4.6, but I hope you find this helpful. If you have to rewatch this video, rewatch it so that you conceptualize this. Okay, I hope you find this helpful, guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.